Najee-Ullah.com, and I guess as of the posting of this video, Moorish Temple, California, Incorporated. Yes. For those who have been keeping up with what's been going on as far as my posts, and you can go back in the post and see for yourself at your leisure. I've been blessed with a pointed sword. Due to the acts of some Moors, I've been compelled to incorporate in the state of California. Although I will be the first to admit I'm not from California, I'm from Chicago, the Moorish Mecca. Okay, but if you kind of follow the story, if you knew all the details, you'd be like, that's perfect. But anyway, I need to get some stuff done because I'm one who is not trying to leave the work our parents left for us to be completed by my children. I want to see what it looks like if they take it from where they should have been in the first place and see what they can do with it. Right? And consider what I talk to them and tell them what they repeat back to me. The future looks bright. So that just encourages me more. And I have to say that this whole thing with Moor is acting badly encourages me. It just adds fuel to the fire. All right. So today's video, today is August 19th, 2014. I'm doing a video on nonprofit corporations, specifically setting up a nonprofit in California. All right, and I'm doing it I'm sure that there are plenty of Moors out there or plenty of other venues out there where you can see how to do this. But this is from a Moorish perspective. I'm coming at you as one who's trying to do what you're trying to do. And although I'm in California, I've traveled state. I've lived in quite a few states, and everywhere I go, I try to do this, and I've succeeded in a majority of them, if I had the time. I set up a corporation. I basically set up a temple, okay? You are the temple no matter where you are. Wherever there's a Moor, that's a temple, okay? So, I set up temples wherever I go to make sure that I'm secure in my surroundings, all right? You'd be amazed at what being recognized as a divine and national movement can get you. It's pretty cool. It makes things very easy. And let me write that down. I love my book. I suggest that all Moors have one of these because I know if you're anything like me, you're coming up with ideas because you're active, not passive. So those ideas got to go somewhere. Somebody's got to do this. So I encourage you all to have one of these on you. So, yeah, I write my ideas here, and I'm getting ready to write down the idea of, I'm going to move on, and I'll review the video later and remind you of what the idea is as I remind myself. Anyway, this video is on setting up a nonprofit corporation. Okay, although I did it in California, it can be generalized to fit wherever you are. And if you need assistance with that, I'd be more than happy to help you with that. And I'll be getting into that portion of my business in a moment. Okay, so why do you need to set up a nonprofit? Okay, if you are an active, not passive Moor, then you know that you have to be the change that you want to see. You can't sit there and wait for somebody else to do it for you. You have to be what they call the tip of the shovel. Islam. So I'm encouraging Moors to go ahead and get moving. Based on recent events, I see that it's imperative that Moors move past these sheiks and sheikesses and governors and etc. They're appointing themselves. Fine, do what you got to do. As long as you're doing the work, hey, do what you got to do. I'm encouraging you to do that. Any Moor that's sick of, okay, this Moor took it upon himself to establish X, Y, and Z. He's asking for me to do too much in order to gain X, Y, and Z. And this isn't, for those who are seeking fame and fortune. You might get famous, fortune. Okay, those who know. So I'll just leave that alone. But if they're being unreasonable, if they're saying one thing and behaving in a manner contrary to that, then you need to do your own thing. Especially if if it's something pulling on. You'll know, if you know, you know. All right, you'll know because it'll be one of those things that wakes you up in the middle of the night. You just won't be able to get away from it. So that's what this video is for. Okay. So that's the why. Because as far as I'm concerned, as far as this movement goes, the more the merrier. All right. In my opinion, this is my opinion. Okay, I have a lot of education. I got my good European education. All right, and I had people pay for some because they saw something that I guess I didn't see. But in my educated opinion, because I have a degree in history, I have a degree in education. Put those two together. We should be moving the way that these townships, cities, counties, states are moving. All right, the national is done. It's set up for us. All right, we just have to get it organized at a macro level. Oh, I'm sorry, a micro level. Macro being big, micro being small. So, if you are in a situation where your temple isn't doing as you think they should do, I'm not encouraging you to be insubordinate. All right, if you know, your heart knows, and don't even try it because you know. If it feels right, it feels right. If you even got a question, it's probably not the right thing to do. So, but that that sixth sense, that gut, right? If you know, you know. Go ahead and set up your own thing. All right. I'm from Illinois. Like I said, I'm not even from California. I'm from Illinois, and I live 20 minutes outside of Chicago driving. That's to get to the border of Chicago. All right. And I passed through 7 cities, townships, municipalities, whatever you want, whatever they call themselves. They all call themselves something different. And they were all set up because they didn't like what Chicago was doing. So they moved on the outside and did their own thing. But they still benefit from the fact that they are part of the state of Illinois and part of the United States of America, or which is part of the United States of America. So why can't we do that? All right. Set up your own little group, all right, in order to make it prosperous. I'll just say it because the prophet needs finance, he needs finance, and he needs it badly. His words, not mine. You have to be able to set up a business. Okay, you have to be able to move inside of this muck and mire. All right. I don't agree with it. I don't like it, but I do know how to deal with it quite well. All right. And that's not my opinion. That's in my chart, which is another video that I'll be presenting time permitting. Because like as you might have seen in some of my other videos, I'm a stay-at-home mom. The Moors are funding me because I'm putting in work and they are supporting me. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I'm seeing what's happening with me. And I have to concur with whichever Rockefeller said it. Competition is a sin. Right? I believe in room for all, even if you're doing the exact same thing I am. If I can help you get there faster, I'm guessing down the line, that's going to come back on me, either through you or not. All right, so here's me giving my thing. Maybe, hey, I hope somebody's going to get this. If I can affect one person, that's that education part of my degree. If I can affect one person to get them to do this, we'll be moving along that much faster. But like to reiterate, with the passing through 7 townships, all right, I'm going to add something on to that. I live down the street. I don't know if you just heard the bells. I live within eyeshot and earshot of a Catholic church. It's not a church, I'm sorry. I looked it up. It's a parish. I live within eyeshot, all right, maybe 20 steps away from a parish. Yes, if you look it up, all right, because you might find something else on that journey, so I'm not going to tell you what it means. I live right by a parish. This thing is a Catholic compound. It's kind of scary, all right, but, you know, I don't fear a lot, but I can see how it could be scary for others. Let me correct myself. I looked into their history, all right, and not to get too deep into it. I mean, it's all a matter of franchising, all right. This guy saw opportunity in setting up a church right by the beach. First thing he set up when he got his money to fund his parish was their version of a Sisters Auxiliary. And this Sisters Auxiliary, I think there was 7 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, there were 7 of them spread around the church, right? They could walk to each other's houses, okay? Some of them might be in the position right on the same block. You know how boundaries cut off. Because, yes, they were in competition, but they were competing to advance the same cause. Go ahead and set up your temple, okay? Even if it's just to set up a business. This has to be done, okay? And the way I do it, I'm of the opinion, you're more, this is your land. They're not going to argue with it if you know how to, if you come at them with, if you render it in an intelligent tone, you can expect an intelligent reply, correct? So, you're not supposed to be paying taxes on your own land. Let's just be straight up. So, set up your nonprofit, This is, what is that called? Plausible deniability. Everything you need to operate in a fair manner that you know deep down, like, something ain't right. You're right. You ain't supposed to be doing that because you're right. You are of this land originally. Why are you paying him for a goddamn thing? The only thing you should be doing with this peon, it's in their name. I'm not being mean. Euros, peons. I didn't come up, hey, this was here when I got here. What are you doing paying him to do anything on this land? Anything. Okay? Plausible deniability. They know the Bible better than we do. They just don't practice it better than we do. But they trust me, they know it better than we do. They know their reckoning is coming. It's coming. These are the only group of people with an end to their story. Please don't believe me. Look it up for yourself. I've got things listed. I'm not trying to brag or anything. All right, I don't brag. I let others do the bragging for you, then you'll know it's true. But, okay, I did my history. I majored in history. I worked for a librarian so I could learn more. I did a lot of stuff to make sure, because I don't trust myself, okay? I don't like looking stupid, and I don't like being proven wrong. I do, because then I learn something, of course, but I'd rather skip that step so we can move on to something else. That being said, they're the only group of people with an end story. If you can find anyone else, I would love to know, because I can't find it. All right. For my own edification, please hook us up. Show me any other group of people that says, at the end times, not the end of time. That's something different. End time. Okay, like human and human being. Mankind. Those are different terms for good reason. Y'all can't stand this language either. All right. Anyway, so the why. It's time to get moving. Okay. Those who have been keeping up with the news know, boy, I know you've been probably saying it like me. If I could be out there, Well, that's fine. Don't be out there. Show your support for those who are. Help them. Okay. This is my effort to do that. How? Okay. Okay. How to do this? I'm in the process of setting up classes because I've been to jail once for homeschooling. That's a whole nother story. I have it written down somewhere. If you're interested in knowing, I'll put it up. I'll make it available. It's up, but I'll put up a post if somebody emails me at califamedia.com specifically asking, can you post a link to that story? It had nothing to do with me. It was an excuse because I didn't do my research. I learned my lesson. Okay. And now I'll share that at a later date if it hasn't already been posted somewhere, which I'm sure it probably has. The way you can begin the process of setting up your own arc. I'm calling them arcs, and it's exactly what it sounds like. We're setting up something that will float above the storm that's coming. Straight up, Islam. Okay. So arc. So you would Google Apalache MSTA. That's APOLACHE MSTA, and that goes to a whole page. And I haven't been on there in a while. This is one of the companies I set up when I was in Georgia. Okay, you go on that page, and it should be somewhere where it says classes. You go onto the classes, and it says how to set up a template. I'll most likely make the link available in the comment section below. But either way, you request access to that page. All right, and I'm not going to tell you where you request access or how, because in order to, excuse me, to make sure this is only accessible to the sincere, skip that whole setting up secret societies. If you can find it, you must have looked for it. It's all yours. All right. So you have to actually read it to find it. But once you can find the way to request access, okay, you just request access. There's a button, you click on it, it says request access here, and you do it. Right now, there are some people signed up in the page that comes up. All right, and until October 1st, they will be able to access that page for free. Here's why. I will be updating all the paperwork on that page, because that page was put up in 2010. I have since significantly added to my resources and repertoire by being a good Moor and just being in the right place at the right time, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I have what you all actually need. So, and it's constantly adjusting and changing, because if you're familiar with what's going on, as we figure out what's going on and how to get out of their system, we got a new legislation coming up. You can't do that anymore. So that's why it might be changing. That being said, the documents that are being posted to this art page are subject to change. That requires maintenance, right? A servant is worthy of their hire, and I like how Sheikh Mo Islam put it. I pay my servant before the sweat forms on his brow. He said he got it from Hadith. I don't remember which one, so I'll just give the credit to him till further notice. Anyway, that being said, the subscription to access the site will be $13 a month, and that gives you access to everything, because when I say everything, it's not just setting up temple. There's tons of stuff that will be on the site, because I set it up starting in 2010, and I've been just saving everything that I've been doing over the last 4 going on 5 years to the site. So Allah willing, you will find whatever issue you're dealing with right now, something will be there to address it, or at least lead you in the right direction to do so. Okay? But like I said, if you have already signed up for that site, it will be free until October 1st. And then after that, it'll be $13 a month for site maintenance. That might go down depending on, that'll be regular price. It will be less than that if you can prove to me that you're a member of a temple somewhere, even if it's yours. Okay? Other than that, it'll be $25 a month. There's also a subscription amount, $25 a month, where you get one issue dealt with. We'll write you a letter, we'll review your documents, and we complete it. That's for an additional $12 a month. Okay? And those who've worked with me, you know how I work. I'm extremely accessible. And now, apparently, there are Moors who are trying to assist. I got on Facebook the other day and saw the Califa Canyonland Law logo and the Califamedia logo posted on a flyer from some Moors in Canyonland offering their assistance with an issue they resolved, all right? Because we're separating ourselves from the dirty Moors. I'm going to speak for myself, and you know how they say birds of a feather flock together. I don't put out anything that I haven't already seen work. Okay? I can't promise how it'll work for you, because if you're familiar, that's again the astrology thing. If you're familiar with how the energies work, if you believe it won't work, guess what? Your wish is your command. Even if it's A, B, C down the line, exactly the same issue with the same prosecutor, same judge, who let it pass before, but because you said it wouldn't work, it don't work this time. But I'm going to let you know I'm only putting out stuff out that actually worked. It worked for me, or it worked for someone I helped with this issue. Because, Moors know, once you figure out who you are, your issues go down a lot as far as the occupiers. Of course, there's others that may replace them, but as far as occupation goes, you got it handled. All right. And that $25 a month thing, that's good for one filing per month, or the review of one document per month. And that's something good to go with if you have an ongoing case. Myself, like I said, I'm recruiting. I'm not recruiting. They're actually making themselves available. Other Moors are making themselves available, saying, I can do this. I've had success with that. So I'm able to outsource this. And that being said, if you sign up for the $25 subscription, and that's good for one document a month until completion, whatever that means. All right, but the nonprofit. So to recap, why is time. How? Request access to the ARC page. I'm just going to call it that because I can't remember offline what it's called because it's been there for so long. But that's where you access all the documents I've done. Like, for instance, almost forgot. And liquor service public notice as well. I recently filed my articles of incorporation for the corporation that I'm setting up in California because I set them up everywhere I go. And then hope before I allow will and pray that before I leave, I'm able to pass them on to a Moor who will just keep it going. So here are my articles of incorporation. Okay, all stamped. And I save some time myself because sometimes they ask you, oh, we need a copy of a certified copy. So I just went ahead and got that too. Okay, Islam. So articles of the corporation of a non-profit religious corporation, and this is for California. And it was just a form, that's what I'm starting to find out. This stuff is, I guess, their greed keeps them, their greed inspires them to make it easier for you to give them their money, even if it harms them in the long run. That being said, I've written up articles of incorporation before. I can write them from scratch, okay? I did it when I was in Georgia. I did it when I was in Illinois. California just has a form. I was putting it off, you know how Moors are. Putting it off because I just, the thought of the thing was worse than the thing itself. And then I was like, because based on my experience in Georgia and Illinois, where I had to write it up from scratch, I'm like, I don't feel like doing that for here too because I have to dig into their bylaws and their regulations. No. One page. Chances are if you go onto the Secretary of State's website for your state, there'll probably be a form. Okay? While you can write up the specifics of your form or your incorporation, which some states require, I wouldn't tell you a second. If they say, here, fill out this form, me personally, I would say, fill out their form. Because then they can't say, well, that's not the form that we wanted. If you signed it wrong, your fault. But they wrote it up exactly the way they wanted it. I sent this in, I mailed it in August 1st. I looked it up maybe a week later, so August 8th, and it had been filed as incorporated in California on August 5th. That's pretty fast. And now, August 11th, or whenever, this is dated, the certification is dated August 11th, and today is August 19th, so I guess I got this past Friday. So that took all of 2 weeks. And now, I'm ready to do business in California as a nonprofit. And California was so gracious as to send me the nonprofit tax handbook or tax exemption handbook, and I read it. I did the last thing they probably expected me to do. I read it cover to cover. All right, good information. That's another class. But that being said, go on the Secretary of State's website for your state, and just see if they have a form. Okay, fill out the form. If not, if you go on to the ARC website, I'm pretty sure I have uploaded there the articles of incorporation that I used to set up the temple in Georgia. And you can use that across the board because it's protected by religious freedom. Okay, they can't tell you how to write up the terms of your religious doctrine. Okay, especially if you say, hey, I'm copying it word for word from the instructions that my prophet left book. Okay, and that gets into the next part. And I'll just leave. It's coming up on 30 minutes on the video, and let me wrap it up with this. Now that I filed my notice of or my articles of incorporation, the next thing we want me to do is to file a statement of information. And this is California. It may be different for your state. This is again one of those. It's worse. The thought of the thing is worse than the thing itself. Situations. It's one page. Okay. They want to know 3 officers. So if you've already incorporated, you have one person who's shown, okay, I'll take care of it. I just need 2 bodies. If they want to be active, let them be active. But for the all intents and purposes, you need up to 2 bodies. Okay? And you can use their addresses if you want, but I read the instructions, and they say they actually prefer that you use whatever address you used for the Articles of Incorporation document. So if you say, for instance, I want my dear Aunt Mabel to sign on, right? And she's down with the Moors. So she says, yeah, sign me on this as Mabel Abel L. Okay? She's an officer in my company. My company's headquarters is these 4 walls, my apartment. Alright? So Mabel, did I say she was in Chicago? My aunt Mabel Abel L is in Chicago, but she works for this company in California. So I get to put this company's address as her address. I also got my buddy up in Canada, but you know, he's an international type. So he has an office here too. So, you know, he's in Canada. His address, his business address is right here. And then of course there's me. Okay. And you'll see on the forum, at least in California, they're asking you to list 3 people. Whoever's doing the incorporating, and you know if you're doing the incorporating, if you've done all this work, you're probably going to be the one that's running it for the most part. List yourself as the financial officer. Whoever you feel comfortable positioning as your chairman, they said as your chairman. If you're fortunate enough to have a spreadsheet, an assistant sheet, secretary, it's easy. All right, you know how to do this. But if not, if you just got 3 individuals who are just ready to do some nonprofit business to help their people, then this is how you do it. Okay? I'll make sure I covered everything. So the why, the how, and like I said, I'll post the links to the sites in the comments. And the what? Articles of incorporation. I think I already have a document loaded to our art site where you can see a sample, and I'll also be posting a copy of our beautiful article of incorporation, redacted, because I don't want anybody using my information. Not thinking that the Moors will do it, but you know how it is. More people have access to this than just Moors. And I'll also posting the statement of information as soon as I have it filed. Like I said, I don't post anything unless I send it work first. Okay. I'll be posting a tax exemption filing as soon as I have that filed. Redacted, of course. It'll just be a sample that's posted to show you how you can do it, how it worked for me. Okay, I'll say it like that. And like I said, that's what the subscription is paying for, right? This is what frees me up to do this, so that while you're doing whatever you have to do until you can get free, somebody has to make this a full-time job. This can't be part-time. We all know it, okay? We need to start behaving like these other nationalities. When they have an issue, they support to their utmost whoever it is that they recognize or who has shown and proven that they're worthy to be supported to help them get to the next level. Okay? We put all our resources, throwing out an anchor. Okay? But like I said, samples are updated regularly to include various jurisdictions. That's where that $25 membership comes in. If I assist you with your document and, oh look, now I know how to do it, how it's supposed to look, when it's filed in New Hampshire. Okay. Now we have now if you're a $13 subscriber, you have access to that document for New Hampshire. And the $25 subscriber, of course, um, you'll get yours in return for, it's like, wow, I would have been able to do that without you. So I give twice as good as I get. So I don't know what that'll be yet, but I promise it will be that. And that being said, that's it for the nonprofit. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please email me at califamedia@gmail.com. Please check out our website, califamedia.com. Lots of books, lots of information. And I'll see you when I see you. Peace and love.